Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Reserve Deck Nick. I don't have my outfit on today, and that is because to this week's episode of the Reserve Deck podcast was, as promised, an interview with a one of the artists for Soul Masters, and it's gonna be. I'm just gonna upload the full, slightly edited, all unedited audio and stuff, but I'm gonna add in some of the art that he's made and stuff like that and talked about, and so that's what this week's episode is. So there's not going to be any sort of meta talk or anything like that. But we do talk about the game, and I have a lot of questions for him, and we have some good conversation. And so yeah, I'll put all of his information in the description down there. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of content, as it's exactly what I'm hoping for. So thank you so much, and I will see you later. Working for a second, but dude, it's good to talk to you again. How you been?
Good.
That's
How
good.
are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad that I'm trying to get more stuff out related to the game. So I'm super thankful you're willing to chat. I know we've talked before, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad to try and get more eyes on it in any way possible.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, how's it been for you? How's the set 3 stuff been
Um,
going?
well, I front loaded a lot of art into set three early on, and then we did the Vegas convention, and then from
Mm,
there, um, I had a bit of an art block, because of various things happening. We got a house, and
yep.
we were moving stuff around. I just couldn't concentrate.
No, I get that.
Um, but we I think we're like kind of settled in enough in the house that I started working again. So I finished up a pirate piece recently. Um, they gave me a pirate piece, and I think there was a mask piece for set three that I didn't get done in time, but it'll probably end up as a promo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's a bit detailed, so
Nice.
took a little longer with the art block. The pirate boat was extremely detailed.
Hmm.
So that just took a lot of time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess
Yeah.
since this is going in the podcast, if you want to introduce yourself really quickly for the people who will
Yeah,
be
yeah,
watching.
sure. Sure. My real name is Adam Klerman. I'm an ex-scientist who's become an artist for Soul Masters. I also did another card game before, Magi Nation. Um, yeah.
That's sick,
So,
actually. I had no idea about the scientist thing.
oh
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
really.
I'm published. There's like some stuff that I published on material sciences and some other things, and I worked for a multi-billion-dollar company. They pulled me out of school before I finished out my bachelor's. They wanted me to work for them. I worked for them for a good amount of time, and then they decided to go into nanomaterials, which I was okay to get into,
Hmm.
but um, and then there was also some other thing where I lost my patent of a material process I invented due to my school that I went to. They tried to claim rights to it.
Yeah. Okay.
It was pretty messy, but yeah. So they were going to go into nanomaterials, but they also wanted me to move states to a state I didn't want to live in. Um, and we were given the option to either A, move to that state, B, find another science job in Las Vegas, or we also talked about moving to Japan. So we just picked up and moved to Japan.
Yep. I mean, that's
Yeah.
if I had to choose between those two, I would have picked Japan too. And I love Vegas, so I still would have picked Japan. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
huge.
that's what it is. When I got here, I did get a offer to work as a scientist in Tokyo, doing the same work I was doing before, environmental material sciences for, like water reclamation, and soil reclamation, that kind of stuff. Um, and we decided we wanted to live in the countryside because it's just better for our daughter. So
Hmm.
I chose a smaller paycheck, and yeah, that's why I'm working as an artist.
I mean, I would think that it might be a smaller paycheck, but low key, it's impacting so much more. Because as you know, one of my favorite pieces is one of your artworks, right? So, and there's so many people
Yeah.
around the North America that get to see your art all the time. So, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I do get a lot of messages from the fans either telling me like their favorite art piece is one of mine, or that I'm their favorite artist, or I'm one of their top artists, or
yeah.
they really like my style because it's like very different from everyone else's.
You and the girl who did Vindus are very
Yeah,
talented.
yeah.
hmm
Ivana. Yeah. Yeah, I got to hang out with Vana in Vegas for Level Up. She's
Yeah,
super cool. She yeah, she's also a fan of my artwork. I'm a fan of hers. I collect her stuff too.
nice.
Yeah, she's really nice.
Now,
I can't praise my coworkers enough. Frozen's really nice and very talented as well.
yeah.
You know.
And when you said
Yeah.
earlier that you had like a creative block, was that is that just you think that's real for all artists, or was that just from your
Yeah.
situation?
I think it's real for all artists. Frozen had an art block some time ago, but it's for us, me and him. It was due to like things happening around us, so we just couldn't like sit down and focus.
Yeah.
Because like it's a bit of a problem. So coming from science to art, there's a difference. Like you have to like lock in, get in the mode, and then like you're going at least a half an hour in, pretty much just warming up before you even start doing any work, right?
hmm
So if you don't have like a good set time of like 5 to 8 hours to really concentrate, it's really hard to get much work done,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. And
No. Oh
then
no. It's a full time job for sure.
yeah, I mean, like, you may spend like 20 to 30 hours on pieces per week, but that's really not realistic because there's also planning and, like prep time, getting in the mood and all that stuff. It's like literally becomes like a 40, 50 hour work week. Um,
I was actually just thinking about that, like what the process is, especially with Soul Masters now being what you do mostly. What the process is, start to finish with making a card and like how you know that that card is ready to go out.
well, it's different for all of us. Usually, like Pedro, the owner, has a sort of an idea, and he will use like renders or images he may find online, and he'll throw them to us, and he'll say, "I want something kind of like this," right?
Yeah.
Um, in my particular case, he kind of started to get the idea around the collector's set that I just do my own thing. So,
A little more
uh,
freedom.
uh, yeah, I think that there's a bit more freedom with certain artists over, say, the studios that we work with, or like, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely certain artists have more freedom than others.
hmm
Like, if I'm not allowed to do what I want to do, I may not even take the piece. So there's that.
hmm
Um, so like usually what I'll do is for my process, I will thumbnail a bunch of different thumbnails, and I'll just sort of feel it out. And then when I get to a pose or like a composition, so if you don't know what a term means, by all means ask. I'll
Yeah.
explain
Yeah.
it. But like, yeah, like a composition that I really like, and I'll just go from there. And I used to work in the previous game, Imagination. I had a mentor. She's a very talented artist. Her name is Hannah Goodman. And she would always tell me, like you need to pursue the piece. Like if you get a good feeling from the start, you should pursue it and try to keep that feeling all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just try to make sure that I feel good about it all the way through. And when it's done, I feel like it's like we get to a point where how much I'm getting paid will definitely affect the last like 2 to 3%. So like I get something done usually to like 95 to 97% done, to where like I'm very satisfied with it.
Mhm.
Now I could put like another week or two in there, but we have like timelines and we have a very small budget because it's a very small game right now.
Yep.
And I want to get more pieces out for you guys. So like if like if it looks really good and I accept it and I would be okay that that goes to print and it gets published and it's forever out there, that's good for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if like, sometimes at the end of a set, if I have an extra time, like I'll ask him when is he going to be turning in all the images for print. And he'll be like, he'll say something like 3 days, 4 days, or a week or something.
Mhm.
I'll run back through all my art pieces and I'll make little tiny adjustments and I'll let him know like, hey, could you update the image with this or this or that?
Yep.
So I'll try to make it a little bit better at the end, but time constraints are usually the biggest issue. And then secondary to that is like, how much am I going to be able to get paid for this piece? Because we have a very small budget to work with
Yep.
and my hours need to match.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair. With knowing that you have a little more freedom creatively, what like where do you kind of look for that inspiration when you're kind of warming up or looking at pieces you have to create?
Well, so originally when we worked on pieces in Awakening, we didn't get much information about what the card did or what the background of the characters were or what even the card's name was going to be.
Right.
And so that was like something that we brought up to Pedro, and he's since kind of corrected that. He tries to give us like the very alpha version of the card of what it's kind of going to do, and he tries to give us the rough naming of the card and the clan that it's going to be in,
Right.
and
Okay.
so that way it gives us a better idea. And then sometimes he also gives us color schemes to the clans, like he's like, if this is
Like a woven
a druidian,
or
yeah, sure, if
druid.
this is
Yeah.
druidian, I really want greens to be in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if it's like the evil druidians, then I want some reds or some blues in there, some darker colors, cools.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, something like that. Athena and Keshi, Volcania, the Saturn, Ragnar. Those characters tend to have more set color schemes,
Yeah.
like including Lamia. Lamia has a lot of greens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some very loose interpretation of what colors need to be in a card. There's more that we can do with it if it becomes an alt art card, or if we're working on a collector's set or a promo.
Yeah. Like I
So
think you did you do the alt art for army unification?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that is such, and I think you even did the regular art too for it as well. But the
I didn't do the regular art for
oh,
Army
okay, okay,
Unification.
okay. But the alt
That's
art
handy art, I believe.
is the
Yeah.
alt art one. It like I already am playing it in my deck. Like immediately I swapped it out. It is so good. It fits
Yeah,
perfectly and it
I
looks so
heard
good.
that the alt arts for set 2, the chase ones, like people are really like they will fight over it and they will not sell their copy,
Hmm.
is Components, Army Unification, and the Return Fire, and another one of Frozen's cards.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I think it's like the dragons ones, like where the dragons are like looping around each other. But yeah,
yeah.
those four alt arts specifically are really expensive. More so the Components and Army Unification.
Yeah, components. I haven't even seen it in my play group yet, but yeah, I yoinked army unification so quickly. I was like, come on, guys, you have to let me have this because I'm gonna play it. So like, let me admire it in my deck. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love it too. I did some massive signings in Vegas because everyone was like obsessed with getting my signature because I don't live in the U.S.
oh yeah, that's huge.
I'm not even like close enough like Puerto Rico. I live way far away.
Oh yeah,
And so some people were giving me like massive signature stuff to do, like stacks of like 200 signatures. And I made a stipulation that if you showed up to the event, since it was my first event, I was doing free signatures.
Yeah, I
If
remember
you
that.
did the Whatnot stream, it was charged, just to help out the Whatnot stream, really.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I was doing free signatures. I had some art prints available. Some of them were done by hand with the gold leafing. Um, and
Wow.
the line for my signature was kind of long at times.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up getting a break during the Vegas convention, and I ended up doing something around close to 2,000 signatures in 3 days, and I did about 150, a little over 150 doodles on cards.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was wanting to go so bad to get you to do that, but I wasn't even in the
I
country
mean,
either.
you know, if
I was over
I
Europe.
told any, oh well, no worries. I
Yeah.
told anyone who's a fan of mine, if you want to just grab a bunch of cards together and like send them to me
Hmm.
in Japan and pay the return shipping, like I'll charge you like I don't know, like $1 per signature or something. It
Hmm.
wouldn't be that much.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just send me a stack and I'll deal with it
I
and I'll
might.
get it back to you. And if you want doodles on any of them, let me know. I won't charge extra on that unless you're like asking me to do like a card alter. Like
Yeah.
somebody actually messaged me about doing a card alter for them, but not for this game. What's that other game? It's not Flesh and Blood. It's sorcery. They want me to do a sorcery one, a hand
Hmm.
painted one.
I think like
But yeah.
I also play Grand Archive, small aside, and
Oh,
you can get a
you
spirit
know,
with nothing on it. And if I ever got one of those, they're kind of expensive, but if I ever got one of those, I would definitely send it to you because you can fill in the box with whatever you want. You know what I mean? It'd be so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm actually very familiar with Grand Archive. Two of my friends from two different art discords, they've done work in Grand Archive.
Yeah.
So
They have a
yeah.
similar style to Awakenings, I would say. Like
Yeah, it's closer to
beautiful women.
Awakening.
Yeah. Like you know.
Kind of reminds me of that online game, the phone game CZN,
Hmm.
or like it's like that like very like muted colors,
Yeah.
Instagrammy anime art, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, so be on the lookout when I get one of those spirits for
Yeah, yeah,
a
sure,
commission,
sure.
you know.
Yeah,
So
whenever that is, let me know.
definitely. What's because we've been talking about some of your cards. What's the first piece that you took on, if you remember?
First piece in Soul Masters. So I applied to Soul Masters multiple times to try and get in. I think I may have applied more than any other artist in this game, by a large margin. I
Mm-hmm.
was rejected multiple times. And then I finally got in on a recommendation through Zark. Zark
Mm-hmm.
had pushed through and said, "Hey, you really should give him a chance. He's really good." It's just that I think Awakenings had a very different art style in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very uniform, like extremely uniform,
Yep.
and my art didn't really fit too well in there. So like I ended up only getting like I think three pieces in there. There was an armor, a hammer, and what's it? One of the resources.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I did like a basic resource. And yeah, so the first piece that got published
Yeah.
that I worked on was, let me check. Give me give me one sec.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. I've done like so much art and a lot of it hasn't even been used yet for this game, but
That's true. I've seen some.
one
I've been in
second.
on some of those late night streams, and I've seen some things that have definitely not been released yet.
Mm-mm. Um so the first art piece that I got for the game, like officially,
Yeah.
was the the resource.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the resource from Awakenings is my first piece that I did. Uh, Second piece would be the hammer. Third piece would be the armor. And then the fourth piece was a book that was supposed to be in Awakenings. But I think I was told that like during play testing with it, it was really strong, so it might end up in a later set.
Ooh, okay,
But
interesting.
it looks very interesting. The book that I did,
Mm-hmm.
it's very fantastical. I don't think anyone's seen it beyond when I worked on it. I don't mind sharing images, if you wanna take a look at them, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine too.
Yeah, you could send it to me and
Um,
I can throw it up on screen after and
yeah, yeah, sure,
yeah.
sure. We'll
Do you have a
deal with that in a
yeah, do you have a favorite that you've worked on?
yeah, yeah, I do. So my favorite piece personally, it's it's got to be between either Counterspell, which with Counterspell, I went like it took like 3 weeks off because like it was we didn't know what we were gonna do with moving forward on sets if we were gonna work on collectors or something else, and he didn't know what he was gonna give me because I wasn't getting a lot of pieces because he was like testing to see if anyone would like my artwork
Yeah.
in Awakenings. And it turns out that he got a lot of messages from a lot of different people saying that they love the hammer, they love the armor, they
Yeah.
love that resource. Um, and when I came back after 3 weeks, I was actually practicing a bunch of artwork techniques with my mentor and like going over notes and stuff. And I came back and I wanted to drop like, basically an art bomb, right? So I went really hard on Counterspell, um, and then I dedicated it to my mentor.
Yeah.
The other one that I really had a lot of fun with was the Volcania piece that ended up becoming a promo for PCG. It's like a limited 100, just got, announced, I think.
Yeah. Is it the hammer or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
something else?
No, it's in the Discord. There's a thing that you have to like send a card in to PCG for grading, and you get a
Oh,
promo back.
yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that promo is limited 100 Volcania resource, and it has like a really interesting artwork piece.
Yeah, I know exact. I don't know the exact one you're talking about, but I do remember seeing that. I was trying to see if I could find it there, but yeah, that's good. That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah,
That's
so those are my two favorites for those reasons.
mm-hmm.
A lot of fun doing the Volcania one because it kind of, I really wanted to do like a Quentin Hoover style piece where it's like almost looking like stained glass, but not.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like a lot of like interesting abstract but organic shapes in there, and pretty solid colors, so it's easy to read. The counterspell was really really nice to do. It took a long time. I think roughly it was like a 35-hour piece. I didn't get paid very well for it, um, because like we were still testing whether or not people liked my artwork. You
Yeah,
didn't know. He was like really, you have no idea. He was really on the fence about like if my art would fit in the game.
yeah.
Um,
But Counterspell is
but
so
yeah,
beautiful, dude. It captures it perfectly, right? Like the way, and I'll put it on screen. But the way she's like effortlessly touching what I'm assuming is a fireball is
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
so good. Yeah.
I had at the Las Vegas convention at Level Up Expo, I had like maybe 4 or 5 people that play Magic who's never seen Soul Masters. They were walking by, they saw the counterspell card, they were like, "What's that? That looks like a counterspell." And they're like, "I need that card to like put in my magic deck as like a,
Proxy, yeah.
basically like a token proxy." Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "It's too beautiful, right?" And
Yeah.
they said, "What is it? What does the card do? What's it called?" I was like, "It's called counterspell." And they're like, "It looks just like counterspell. Like when I think of counterspell, it should be something like this."
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree
And
more.
but they were like, "Wait, I have to buy a bunch of collectors packs and hope I get one."
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So they're like, I'm basically playing the game, and I said,
Yeah.
"Well, you should play the game."
You should, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, we had a bunch of people come up specifically asking about that one. But yeah, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that one.
Yeah, no, that's good. When the now I know like the Awakenings, like you mentioned before, it had that sort of this is all the same art. You know, this is the Varakians are this, the Woven are this, and so there wasn't you thought there wasn't a lot of room for your style. But what would you have to say about what your style is or anything around that?
Well, I'm old, I guess, by today's standards. I'm almost 40. Um, Frozen is roughly the same age. Vaughn is fairly young.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, being like older, that means that you kind of know the era that we grew up in. Um, we grew up in that time where, like, if you were really young and you were into anime and comics, you were reading like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. And if you were watching anime when you were really, really young, you're probably watching things like, I don't know, Captain Harlock or Ronin Warriors or Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon. And then eventually you got into Toonami and you were like, also watching OVAs that you would get from Blockbuster or something.
Mm-hmm.
So my style is really like a mixture of like like big 90s comics artists like Todd and Jim, but also mixed with like manga and anime from like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where my style falls. Somewhere between there, like if you can mix the two.
Yeah, yeah, you can see that as well. I love Sailor Moon, by the way. Strongest character in all of fiction, I guess.
She's broken, yeah.
Yeah, she is OP. Power scaling, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
aside from the obvious, then like what's keeping you motivated, pushing out all these cards for us?
For motivation, I mean, obviously I enjoy doing the artwork, obviously. So that's a good motivator. The other thing is like I want to know where this game is going to go,
Mm-hmm.
like cuz I think it has a lot of potential. But like and personally, well, I do it for the people that I love, to make a paycheck and also show them something after the paycheck is,
Yeah,
completed and we have it.
yeah.
So, at the end of the day, they can say, "Oh, well, he made money for the family or for my friends or something if they needed help." But then I also get to show them, "Hey, this is also what I did. I did the artwork here."
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of rewarding. Just like in science, it was rewarding because, what I did, I got paid a good paycheck, and what I was working on was gonna probably benefit the world to some degree, right?
Yeah.
It feels kind of like that because, there's something tangible there
Mm-hmm.
that I can, show that I did this too.
Yeah,
I got paid to do
it's like
something.
living. It's like living because you know
Yeah, yeah.
we're using it every week. You know, it's
Yeah,
being seen
exactly.
by everybody, being played by everyone. So, you know, it's gonna
Yeah.
stay. Yeah. Last one we got here. What are your thoughts on the game? I know you just mentioned you want to see where it goes, but how do you feel about the game as a whole? I don't know if you play or if you consume the content, but
I wanted to play. I was gonna learn to play. I think Alathos and Angelo. They were gonna teach me during Vegas,
mm-hmm.
but I ended up getting so busy. I couldn't get a drink. My friends had to get me drinks.
Yeah.
I couldn't get food. People had to get me food. I was just nonstop working, so I didn't end up getting a chance to learn to play. I
Mm-hmm.
did play one game. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. We tried the digital client, like the early stages of the digital client.
Mm-hmm.
Tried it with a friend. I lost really badly because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Um, but I think based on the rules set that I read through, because I was reading through it for like airs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Um, I think it like the new rule set reads really well. It kind of reads like an early Magic the Gathering Bible, basically,
Mm-hmm.
like a rules Bible.
Yeah.
You have very specific rulings, very clear, cut and dry, like how things should work, and like in what order do they do things. And then there's like a back area where it talks about specifics of like certain card interactions within a certain rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the new rule book is like a really big step forward, and the new rule set is a big step forward into making this game more popular and more legitimate for like tournaments and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Like and the same with the judge's handbook that we have now. It really is
Sure, sure, yeah,
such a good
definitely.
tool to go in and say, okay, this I need this card, keyword. Give me the explanation. Let me see if there's a
I,
scenario. Yeah, like I agree with the new rule book because the first thing people do when they buy the starter deck is they figure out how do I play, right? Like how am I going to play it? And
right.
it's so clear now, from me having seen it from before to now, that the way to play is a lot easier. So yeah, that's a huge win for the game.
So I think there's that. Also, Pedro and some other people have dropped hints about the online game that's coming,
Yeah.
right? I think that that's a huge step forward as well. The fact that we have some of the best quality of card printings and card stock in the business
Mm-hmm.
is a really big thing for collectors. Um, I, I like that a lot of the art is changing for the better. Because we had, well, the game had a lot of accusations of AI art and stuff before. And
Mm-hmm.
now, you can look at set two and see a very clear difference, right?
Absolutely.
Um, we've gotten more artists on the team. The current artists on the team that have been here the longest are now getting more art pieces to do. And then you have, art studios coming in and filling in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have artists that have questionable uh, artwork anymore
Mm-hmm.
in the game. I think we've parted ways with them. They decided to go a different route, and we went a different route as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
I,
think that all those things combined makes this game like I think it's gonna do really well.
mm-hmm.
And
I
then there's
agree.
gonna be more to come, in the future. So got big plans.
That's the one thing when I talk to some people after matches and stuff, when some people don't feel like there's enough interaction going on. But the thing is, like, any card game that just comes out, right? Like you don't have that much. Like you can only have so many cards each set. You can't just print in 1,000 keywords and flood the world with it, right? You have to build a set, release it, see how it balances. Maybe you have to create some counters for some cards and release it in the next set. Like it's like a flow, a long life cycle of the game where we're just getting started. And 2 3 years from
That's true.
now,
I mean, we're literally only on set two.
yeah, 3 years from now, when we have
So
set three, set four, set five out, and we have so many more ways to deck build and to counter each other, and so much more in the universe, it's just a net positive, really.
yeah, I think that that's a really good thing. One other thing that I didn't mention that I think is huge, and I don't see it in other card games because you know it's just not possible, is that you guys can communicate with the owners of the game.
Oh yeah,
Like
very
that's
receptive.
literally not. You cannot do that in Magic the Gathering. You can't do that in Flesh and Blood, or you can't do that, in Yu-Gi-Oh or anything else.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
could literally ping Pedro if I wanted to. I DM him all. I've literally DM'd him because you know how I make gameplay footage
yeah,
for a lot
yeah.
of the stuff, right? I literally DM'd him and I said, "Yo, please link me raw files for all the art so I can, so it makes it easier for." And he just sent me the link with like 500 cards. And now I'm making YouTube videos 10 times easier because of that, interaction with the owner. It's insane.
Mm-mm.
It's amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a biggie for sure.
Mhm.
Is communication. There's a possibility that you may not be able to like always get in contact with them, but they'll try to circle back around and answer you. And if anyone's out there listening, like if you're trying to reach them and they don't answer, and like give it like a week or so, try asking them again. Try pinging them one more time
Mhm.
because they're really busy people. Like Pedro is usually at cons, right?
Yeah.
He's showing up to cons in person with Frank, and they're doing like they're working with other members of the team to try and like get as many people on the ground learning in person,
Yeah, it's
you
nonstop.
know,
I
the,
just
the
did
game.
I just did Anime North with them, and they didn't leave the booth a single time for 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
It was
Same
they
thing at Level Up
yeah,
Expo. They didn't take a single break.
yeah.
None of us did.
They're dedicated to it, and I respect it a lot. They're super receptive to feedback. You know, when a
Yeah, I
lot of
mean,
the
yeah.
yeah when
Uh, any other questions or
no, that's it. That's really all I
sorry, what was
had.
that?
No, that's all I had for you. But yeah, no, I
I
appreciate your
should
time.
I should mention this. One thing though. I get asked this a lot. How do you pronounce my name, my artist name?
That's true. You do get asked that a lot.
It's I randomly chose the name, um, because I was a part of another game,
Hmm.
and it's called Magi Nation. So in my name, you can see the Magi, and then at the very end, it's just AISOT, ASOT. So that
Mm.
AI does not mean that I do AI art. You can literally watch me in the Discord, 4 to 5 times a week
Yep.
doing live artwork. I post all my art, unedited
Yep.
videos on Instagram. Like, I'm okay to show like full length videos as well, or even demo art skills, stuff like that. So please,
Yep.
like, if you ever have any questions, anyone out there, come ask me. I even give art advice, so for free.
Yep. No, that's true. That
Um,
was that. I struggled to pronounce it sometimes as well.
Yeah, you can call me whatever though. Like I
Yeah.
don't care. You can just call me Magi, the Magi,
Hmm.
Maggie, Magi. Everyone just says whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's good. Yeah. All right.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm gonna